This video was digitized from a collection of 8mm films I received from a US Army member by the name of David Chavez, and he was with the 1099th Trans Company boats uh, out of Cat Lai, Vietnam in 1969. And he arrived sometime in January of 1969 and left sometime in the January 1970 time frame. And the 1099th Transportation Company, known as the River Rats, fell under the 11th Transportation Battalion. And like I mentioned, they were based out of Cat Lai. But the APO address for David Chavez that was listed on these films was for Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base there in Saigon. So some of this footage may be in the Saigon area, some may be at Cat Lai. Cat Lai was only 8 miles east of Saigon at the intersection of the Dong Nai and Na Bay rivers. And here you get a good look at their 85-foot landing craft. And I don't know who, that could be David Chavez making a cameo appearance there. I'm not too sure. There was no names with this or identification on this film except for his name. And yeah, the 1099th was very active in Vietnam. Their mission was to supply direct support to the 199th Light Infantry Brigade, the 3rd ARVN Ranger Brigade, the 82nd Airborne Division, and the 1st and the 9th Infantry Divisions as they made their way into the Mekong Delta. And just from some research in newspaper articles for the year 1969, they had numerous members awarded Bronze Stars and Purple Hearts. I'll read a couple of them off to you here. PFC Wayne R. Bunselmeer awarded Purple Heart near Vong Tu in May of 1969, and also awarded the Army Commendation Medal for Heroism in Action in July of 1969. And Walter A. Taflinger awarded the Bronze Star for ground actions near Cat Lai, and he was also a holder of the Purple Heart. And First Lieutenant Richard M. Wallen awarded the Bronze Star for meritorious service in ground operations against hostile forces near Cat Lai in July. And Spec 4 William Eugene Masters awarded the Purple Heart for a wound sustained on a mission on the 5th of May, 1969. And Spec 5 William R. Silverthorne awarded the Army Commendation Medal for heroism in action while engaged in ground operations. And this was awarded to him in November 1969. And all these members, like I say, were with the 1099th Transportation Company. And yeah, I'd love to hear your comments if you serve with them. And about 12 minutes of really great footage, like them operating, like say, somewhere in the Cat Lai area, working on the Dong Nai or Nai Bay rivers. I'd love to hear your comments if you serve with them. And hope you enjoy this look at the River Rats in 1969. I hope you enjoyed this bit of history. Try to upload military and patriotic videos to my site here, about every other day. And if you're interested in a good read, check out my books at www.edsemler.com.